Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Night in the Woods. All right, things are getting serious in the town of Possum Springs. A financially anxious mama cat is as clear of a recession indicator as we're going to get these days, folks. Now look, I know it's important for May to contribute financially to the Borowski house. I'm sure her parents sacrificed a lot to get her off to school. Things didn't pan out, okay? And the household is struggling. The world is struggling. And as important as all of that is for the stability of the family and May's burgeoning maturity, we've got priorities, okay? I have made a grave, unconscionable mistake, which is that I did not feed the baby rats in the last episode, despite declaring it my main focus. So in this episode, we're going to rectify that immediately. Now, the question is, are we still in possession of the pretzel that we stole? We don't exactly have an inventory or anything, so we'll have to just go and see the baby rats and see if we have something for them. Otherwise, we'll just take another one. You know, if there really is a kind of severe economic decline going on in this world, the pretzel guy is going to be fine. People got to eat, okay? People got to eat. It does look like Halloween is coming around. I do love how the town evolves day by day. Ooh. The thing is, like, as much as I go in with this intention to do these important things every day, this town is laid out like some sort of distraction pipeline. And the first hit on the chain is Selmers. Yeah, I gotta see what Selmers is up to. Totally, what's up, Selmers? You know what's good? Off the top of my head? Not bleeding on your senior junior high. Dang, she just got real specific with that really fast. Not falling in a trash can and puking on yourself. Not seriously injuring someone during your first kiss at senior prom. The question is, are these all her experiences? Well, as usual, not only is the game distracting me, but so is this real life creature that I have here. Oh my gosh. Like, how can I do anything else? I guess we're all just stuck here until she decides that it's time to move on. You better hope that we don't fall on hard times, little cutie. Otherwise, you're going to work. You're going straight to work. Gonna have to make you a social media account. You're gonna start having to generate labor. Okay. Because all this cuteness right now, it's just going to waste. We're not capitalizing on it enough. Well, if we assume that these are May's experiences, they're all like embarrassing focal points of like kind of like maturity milestones. Starting to notice biological changes, presumably like getting drunk and puking on yourself, and then, yeah, trying to have your first kiss and completely fumbling. So she's got these anchor points of like, oh, that was a moment where I was supposed to have changed for the better, to like have grown out of some stage of youth that she's ready to move on from, maybe. And, well, them not going so well. It's easy to presume, though, as a teenager, that like you should be an expert at things that you've never experienced before. Hell, I don't even think that it's a teenager thing. That's just a people thing. But at least for May, it does connect to some of the other things that we've seen from her, like wanting to appear a certain way, like, you know, drinking as much as other people at the party, and she wants to be perceived as cool and relatable to the youngins, but at the same time, like, kind of despises the more relatable parts of being young, based on these little vignettes. I'm gonna go with the seriously injuring one. I was gonna say those fruit snack things we used to eat in grade school. Oh, right. Yeah, those are really good. Did that other thing happen to you? Nope. Want to hear a new poem? Of course I do. Sure. Sometimes I like fruit snacks out by the train tracks. Decent. A juice box and headphones. I enter the juice zone. Damn. That hits. Geez, those are like all I want now. You made them sound so real. I can taste the atomic dino snacks and the blue clear squeezer. Thanks. I think Mr. Shazakov's up there again. Oh, really? He's gonna fall right on the stoop one day. I can see the water tower from my back window. Seen a fire up there by the other night. Wonder who was up there. Okay. Selmer's always got some wisdom to impart. Let's see what this gentleman says. You're gonna make my dog anxious. And she poops a lot when she's anxious. Your dog's not even here, man. Okay, let's go see Mr. Shazakov. I really liked my last interaction with him. Gonna have to go up here to get to him. At the same time, it doesn't seem like May is so crippled by hyper comparison. Like, she's definitely got some space to fill up in her self-esteem. She's made some comments about her appearance and this kind of feeling of being behind other people. Obviously, coming home from school is a setback, and the things that she pointed to when she was wasted at the party were like, you know, everybody was having sex and writing papers, and it seemed like that was not something she found a lot of fluency in. When I come across this like subject of comparison and self-esteem and therapy, I try to help the person see that when they're making a comparison to someone else, we're usually making a very generous assumption. Oh, that person has all their shit together, right? We are filling in a lot of blanks because we actually don't have significant detail about their lives. We have significant detail about our own lives, and even then, that's like very distorted by our own negative self-biases and all kinds of other cognitive distortions. But we know so much about ourselves. We have so many sort of data points and memories. Like, she came up with 3 immediately. And we have like 1 or 2 that stand out about other people. And so it's not really the comparison that's painful necessarily. Like, comparison is just organization and ranking. It's a very neutral thing that we do. It's the fact that we make a very generous assumption about this other person or an aspect of their life, but then we make a very disingenuous assumption about ourselves. And then we compare that to something that's not as much of an assumption about ourselves, but is very concrete. Like, well, I'm behind in this way because I dropped out of school and now I'm back at home and I don't have a job. Like, we have all that context that explains why we're in the circumstance that we're in. And, well, I could just look at someone like B and say, man, she's really making moves. She's got a good job, really knows a lot about herself. But, like, as we start to peel back the layers, she is as insecure as we are, just about different things. So I don't necessarily think that comparison is the problematic part of this, nor is making a generous assumption about someone else. It's just, we're not really affording ourselves the same kind of generous assumption. It's easy to fill in the blanks for someone else and say, oh, you know, Selmer's, she really seems to have an easy go at this whole maturity thing. But we really don't know that much about her life to make a accurate comparison, like an objective one. And I'm not even sure that an objective comparison is all that helpful. You could, for example, compare the colors red and blue if you just isolated them from one another. But if you created a gradient from red to blue, and you would get some hues of like violet in there in between, not only would the contrast not be as extreme to make such an objective comparison, but you also find that you're less dedicated to your stance on it. Like, when I compare myself to someone else who's like, let's say, you know, the same age as me, but like way more qualified therapeutic experience. Wow, that contrast is really big, and I make a very generous assumption that because we're the same age, they must have been twice as competent in their education, or it's twice as intuitive, or whatever. But the more that you zoom in on things and draw a gradient between myself and this other person, I start to feel less dedicated to that stance. And you can have a lot of fun with this in terms of how you play with the language. It depends on who the person is. Like, I might use colors, I might use something like music and say that, like, oh, the volume of that skill level for them is like a little bit higher than yours. Does that feel true? You're like, oh yeah, it feels true. Is it much higher? Yes, it's just like very loud, right? I find that their communication skills are like max volume. Okay, well, where is like your communication skill on this same volume slider? Well, it feels very quiet. Okay, so you want to be someone who can also speak at that communication level. Let's start exploring what 5% more volume to this communication skill would look like. So you can kind of see it's similar to the sentence completion exercise I talked about last time. If the person's an artist, maybe I'm doing colors, like, oh, okay, so like what does their level of competency feel like? Oh, it's like a very deep green, and mine feels like a very kind of washed minty green. Whatever, right? Like, we're trying to get out of this sort of binary hyper comparison, which tends to make us feel like there's a winning and a losing condition rather than this sort of gradient between where you are and where this other person is. And maturity is very much that, right? Like where May is in life is going to be a different shade of maturity than someone like Selmers or B or Greg or anyone. Like, it becomes less intense to compare yourself when we're doing a lot less organizing and ranking in general, right? Like, you can't really rank the difference between a deep blue and a lighter blue. There's less to organize between extreme volume and low volume, right? It's just like a different language. It's more accessible to talk about your skill set and where you'd like to project it to be. And then the conversation comes down to, okay, so 5% more volume or 5% deeper blue, like whatever that looks like. Okay, let's start putting that into practice. What's something you see this person do that, you know, you're inspired by? I'd start kind of tweaking some of that language from comparison to inspiration, because they are inspired in some sense to be similar. Oh, well, I see them do this. Okay, do you think you could try a little bit of that? Where do you think that would put the volume at in this skill? And then you go from there. So this would probably make it a little bit easier, I think, for May to think about herself in the context of other people that she's around. Because at least so far, we've definitely seen a couple moments where she's like, oh, I need to be like extreme. I need to be like the coolest. I need to be like the most independent. And there's a lot of psychological relief that can come with stepping away from some of those very generous assumptions and starting to compare more on gradients than just kind of all or nothing. Oh, shit, okay. I didn't quite make it there. I gotta jump down again. And yeah, I like exercises like that because the conversation is less about like, oh, I hate this about myself. It's not good enough. I don't look how I want to look. And it's like, okay, we're still going to be talking about that, but we're going to put your appearance on a gradient that is the difference between a tree with few leaves or many leaves. Like, the gradient could be literally anything. Now, when you're discussing that subject, you have this very accessible metaphor tuned to the client's interest and their personality to say, oh, okay, well, I feel like I grew some new branches today. Or I'm feeling like, you know, some of my branches are falling off. Like, okay, well, what do we want to do to, you know, start filling them in again? Tends to be a lot more fun talking about something pretty serious. May Borowski. Yep. Up here on my roof. Yep. Come to hunt down some stars. Come to hunt some dusk stars. Definitely. Come have a look. My eyes! Filter. Ugh. Okay, it's time for another lore drop. Boom. Found one. Let's see. Ah, yes, Simone the Fighter. She got a gun! Simone lived in a good land, but under every good land are the roots of oppression. And in this land, those roots took hold and choked out all else. That was poetic, Mr. Shazgov. Thanks. I was just reading the summary off my phone. Oh. We may not have signal, but we have Wi-Fi. Anyway, when the borders closed and the curfew began, Simone and her comrades began to plot. They infiltrated, they sabotaged, they freed prisoners. Very nice. Kitty, move. I can't read the text. Simone was one of the first to be identified. But she evaded capture even as the wanted posters went up. As whispers of her grew throughout the land, more and more of her neighbors prayed in the night that Simone would be their salvation. Was she? We do not know where Simone is buried. God damn it, I knew this wasn't going to be happy. We do know that when things boiled over, she led a charge against the palace gates, and behind those gates were cannons. Oh no. Many years later, when the mass graves were exhumed, her bones were mixed with so many others. It was said that she now lives on, in the bones of all in her country. Jeez, that got dark, and sad, and spooky. That is history. History is fucking metal. Okay, let's move on. No, there we go. Found one, found one, found one! Let's have a look. Sterling the Seer. How come I've never heard of these guys? By the time they got to these rare stars, the well-known myths and legends were taken. Oh. This one, Sterling, is a tale of the world changing and leaving one behind. These are all going to be bummers, huh? Is he not psychic? Who can say? Do we believe any tale occurred? Either way, one day his king met a new sage, an astronomer, and she showed the king how the planets and stars orbit in regular patterns and why. And the king kicked Sterling out of his quarters, for the seer had long told the king a different story about the stars. Did Sterling believe his own story? That's a very educated sort of question to ask. I know May is like not the best speller, but I think she's got a great intuition for things. It's not always like calculated. Like I do think she has a great way with people, but in a very specific sense, like the way we've seen her interact with B. But the more that she thinks about it, the more she gets into this, like, the inferiority complex comes out. But this is like a great question to ask an educator. I believe he did. Well, that's how things go. Is there no responsibility to care for those who, for those whose labors, even one's universe, are suddenly replaced with a new one? Are they obsolete? That's how life is. No, they're not obsolete. What is to be done? I don't know. Isn't there some other job the king could give him? Or some way where he doesn't have to be useful to the king in order to survive? And folks, this is the power of metaphor, okay? It's not a coincidence that education like this revolves around stories, because that's a big part of our comprehensibility. It's also just more interesting and relatable. It's got her curious about the plot line and the character involved, and it's allowing her to grapple with themes of, well, whether hard work is really rewarded at the end of the day, whether you have to be subservient to the system, right? As she's sort of thinking about the ideas of labor herself. And that's why a little technique like the gradient comparison that I was talking about is so effective, because if I'm comparing my intelligence to someone else or my attractiveness, like those are such abstract things. They're not concrete subjects to begin with. It's not a measurable quality like attractiveness. But the idea of like, oh, low volume, high volume, you can add numbers to that if you really want it. Oh, 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever. It takes it out of that abstraction, which can be very confusing, and makes us feel more definitive that it's like attractive, unattractive, versus on a spectrum, on a gradient. For example, is this cat better than this cat? It's an irrelevant question, isn't it? The word better doesn't belong in that conversation. Because in actual reality, they're both the best cat. But on a scale of something more specific, like cuddliness, Okay, Miorin here in my lap, definitely in the higher percentile compared to Ninja back there. And that's also why I think Shazakov here is actually a pretty good educator, because he's recognizing May's interest increase when, like, she's bought into the storyline and the metaphor here. Metaphors are just more likely to be relatable to a person's life than abstractions. It helps us personalize the subject and also the language that we're using. And the metaphor can change, so it also gives someone a lot more agency over like how they define the different parts of a gradient that you're using. It's one to ponder. The stars that make one think. That's both of them for today. Neato! Wow, that was pretty great. Come by again. Couple days. We shall hunt the stars. Simone and Sterling. And now they've not just been something comprehensible to her, but they've become something meaningful. Meaningful enough to write them down in her journal, and it helps consolidate the themes of those stories. When she thinks about Simone, she can think about that rebellious conviction. And this can be a lasting source of inspiration for her if she so desires. Okay. Well, let's continue into the town. To those baby rats! Oh, I can't believe I've left them so unattended. I just keep getting lost in side quests. Oh, who's this? New person? We can't talk to them. Okay, we're just hanging out. Okay, let's see first if I need to acquire another pretzel. Or if the one in my pocket's still good. If it still qualifies. I'm coming, baby rats! I just know my girl kept that pretzel in her pocket, keeping it nice and warm for them. Baby rats, baby rats, baby rats! All right, my little miracle rats, time to eat. Yes! Oh my gosh. May is such a fucking real one for this. Oh my gosh! Wow, you're hungry. Very hungry. I guess I'm your mom now. Oh my gosh! I don't know if I'm ready to be a mom. Oh. Okay. If we don't do anything else productive for the rest of the day, we've still done a good deed. This day is still perfection. Oh, I feel so relieved those baby rats aren't starving. And I'm not done with them yet. I'll steal a pretzel every single day that I can. Every single one I can get my grubby little hands on. But first, let's go check out our buddy on the roof here. See what he's up to. Hey kid, what you up to? Hey adult. Nothing. Sounds good. I was gonna go down to the tracks. Did you want to come? Sorry if that sounds boring. You don't have to go. It's okay. Jeez, let me answer before you decide I said no. Oh, okay. Did you want to go? Yeah, why not? Oh, good. Yeah, it'll be fun. Let's rock. Oh, side quest? Okay. Wow, been a while since I've been here. My house is like 3 minutes from here. Got the longest night lights from last year still up. Someone on my street does that too. We got pumpkins last year and we left them out too long. And they like liquefied. I have to say, it's a very nice thing. And part of that really strong intuitive connection that she has with people to say what she said, like, oh, don't assume I was going to say no before I've had a chance to respond. And then to also go with the kid, who I think she can pick up on, you know, is a little lonely up there. Oh yeah, I remember that happened with ours one year. My mom was so mad at my dad. It was his job to get rid of them. He had to, like, mop it up. I've seen, like, a time-lapse video of when a corpse decays and, like, everything liquefies. We're all goo deep down. Yup. Okay, so, like, a cool thing to do is squish a metal thing in the tracks. I like that a lot. Cool. I brought a little metal dude. Let's see what happens. Sounds good, kid. Oh man, this is the coolest hangout ever. I come out here at night sometimes and fall asleep between the tracks. That sounds dangerous. It does sound dangerous. Let's just, ask why. I don't know. I feel excited and I can sleep. You ever have that? You're so excited to go to sleep? Coffee makes me sleepy. I have stress dreams if I'm too keyed up. Stress dreams. I don't remember my dreams. Sometimes I fall asleep for like 5 minutes, but sometimes it's for like an hour. That's some risky business there. Oh my god, this is so dangerous. May! This is so irresponsible. I have weird thoughts. Like sometimes I want to go to sleep in the woods or in the basement of an abandoned house during the day and only come out at night and be like a monster and like beautiful. I know the feeling. Those are like really attainable dreams. She's being so motivating. Oh, I'm not beautiful. Oh, you're fine. No one your age likes how they look. Look at her being the mature one here. I'm objectively gross. Way less gross than I was. Do you think? Guaranteed. Crazy! This is crazy! Just locking eyes like that. Oh my god! Okay. Let's see what we got. Whoa. Yay. Your little metal guy is all wow. He represents the human soul. This is important art. Well, I gotta get rolling. Okay. Let's roll. May. See ya. Lori M. Horror movies, trains. Pretty hardcore stuff. Interesting how she, well, kind of soothed that young Lori's mind a little bit about her own sense of comparison. Like I said, I don't think comparison is a bad thing. Everybody is comparing. It's like such a natural function. You shouldn't be made to feel bad that you're doing it. I think it comes with some unintended negative consequences, but I hesitate to proceed with some of the traditional therapeutic mindset, which is like, oh, this is a behavior, it's having an unwanted result, and so we have to correct the behavior. Like the behavioralistic models are very much focused on that the uncomfortable outcome is a result of the unwanted behavior, and so you sort of correct the behavior and then you don't get the outcome, or you substitute it. This wellness model that I've been exploring more recently, it would look at something like comparison and say, yeah, that's extremely natural. That's actually something that's been really helpful in our psychological development, to organize and rank things and make complicated assessments, to understand what an average is, right? Is it overtuned? Sure. But it doesn't have to be pathologic. What it comes down to is it's not a problem that we're having the behavior, it's a problem that the behavior is unmanaged. And it becomes more manageable when you just change the process. We should go on comparing ourselves. Just developing a healthier way of doing it. What? I can't believe that just happened. Oh my gosh, a doggo. Oh, I have to pass by these windows more often. Luke Possum Springs, 87. That's kind of curious, right? Nuke Possum Springs was what the kids in the tunnel wrote. Presently. But they've been saying Nuke Possum Springs since '87, which means some of those adults wanted to nuke Possum Springs. You know what I bet? I bet fucking May's aunt, cop, was one of these '87 kiddos, maybe, who wanted to nuke Possum Springs. That's probably why she wasn't such a hardliner on those other kids. I hope I didn't miss anything up there. Let's see what's going on in some of these shops. Oh, actually, let's see if we can get another pretzel first, after we check out this little stand. Okay, doesn't seem to be anything new here. Let's give that a... Let's get my little yarn tapping in. Okay, let's move on. I gotta stock up. I gotta stock up for those baby rats. Wife long gone, kids don't care. Tunnel fish are always there. Yeah, man. Oh god, please don't listen. What's with everyone in the fucking poems? Selmers, Shazakov, and the fishing guy. My babies are all fed. Mama don't need to steal today. Oh, okay. So, I guess we only need to do it on the days that we haven't fed them anything. Okay, well, we can move on. Oh, hello. Hey, it's May. I remember. Whole clock upstairs ain't stopped yet. What did you want to tell me about Granddad? Well, I'll only say if you really want to know. Yeah, I do want to know. You got a history of troublemakers in your family. No shit. On your daddy's side, in particular. Oh? Go back far enough, you got folks that were around for the real hard times, when the workers went up against armies. Oh yeah, I kind of remember something about that. Great-great-great-great-grandpa or whatever. Might have gotten the number of greats wrong there. Your grandfather and I weren't around for a lot of the violence. That was before even our time. No, we were around to watch the tide roll out. What? And? We'll need to talk again another time. What? I get tired. Oh, okay. Can I get you anything? I don't have any money. No, I'm just fine, May. We'll talk another time. Okay, so yeah, what about a pretzel? It's so adorable that she's like, oh, I'm their mama now. I bet those baby rats could go for a pierogi platter. Or maybe even a pierogi pouch. Okay. Well, back to the surface we go. No kids, no crying adults down here today. Holy shit. The dudes! Someone hecked up the dudes! Who did this? Why did they do it? Oh, I must have missed that thought. Nuke Possum Springs. It's not that hard to figure out, May. Why? Someone would have written that. Who's this cat? Hey, CJ? Yeah? You were like in high school when I was in middle school. Oh, huh. Did I know you? You used to play nerd games with Tom Bramwell across the street from my house. Nerd games. It's quite a memory you got there. Do you live here anymore? No, just back visiting. For nerd games? They were like pen and paper role-playing stuff. Cool. But no, I'm just visiting family. Husband's driving down tomorrow. What do you do now? Lawyer. Oh, wow. Can I ask you some law stuff? Well, I'm not acting in a professional capacity, but yeah, sure. What's the best way to rob a bank? What's the best way to get out of jail? Well, to continue our escalating skill set in thievery, to keep those baby rats well fed, I guess I want to know about robbery. That's not really legal advice. Legal is like laws, right? And bank robbing is a crime, right? And crimes are against the law. I mean, I can't argue with her logic. It's all related. I guess just, you know, bandit mask and a gun. It's been done. You know, we don't really learn this kind of stuff in law school. What is like the point of going to college if you don't learn useful shit? Dude, she is on fire. Laws are pretty useful. Useful my ass, CJ. Sorry, welcome back. Have a nice visit. Bye. See ya. You have demonstrated yourself irrelevant. Okay, to the video store. To my other favorite clerk. Hey, May. Hey, Angus. How's Videoland? Good, good. Start of the Halloween rush. Got a pretty good horror section. Nice. You got a favorite? What? Horror movie? Yeah. Scythe Sabbath. Black Oaks. I'm gonna go with Scythe Sabbath. Oh, Italian. Yeah, they don't mess around. Pretty colors. Pretty everything. Well, see you later. Bye. Gosh, Angus is so cool. He's also one I don't get any sort of, like, dissatisfaction vibes from. I mean, I'm sure he's got stuff he's not pleased about, but he seems to be weathering the stagnation of the circumstances better than others. Okay, we're gonna come back and talk to Bea, because we'll hang out with her later. But I want to see my boy Greg first. Let's see what else is going on in the town. What are these fellas up to? Sunny again, thank goodness. What's got you down? That's nothing. Hey, yeah. Go Smelters, right? Yeah, go Smelters. Smelters must be like some kind of team. They must be having sports talk. I don't know. I don't fucking know sports. I wonder if there's anything we can do to break in there. I'm just looking for opportunities, okay? I mean, imagine I never looked into that window and found those baby rats. They would have starved by now, surely. But they've almost starved even with my intervention. Who's this? Hey, what are you doing outside my window? I don't know. Gosh, she's so honest. Like, what would be the point in coming up with an excuse? Please go away. What you doing? Hey, what are you doing in there? In your house? In your apartment? Newspaper? What's in the news? Quantarac's closing down next month, laying off laying off last 24 people. What's that? Place out past brittle. Assembles tiny computer doodads. Okay, yeah, someone I know's news mom worked there. Real small work. Bad on the fingers after a while. I bagged groceries for a while. How's that? You put the cold, heavy stuff on the bottom, and then the veggies and fruit, and the bread on top. Okay, so she's had a job before. And she found the optimal strategy to it. Good for you, May. Well, looks like you got it all figured out. I love that. She's so proud of herself. As she should be. There's something noble about being a clerk. May has been a clerk. She's been a bag clerk. Possibly the most noble job there is. I'll bet May learned actually quite a bit of her people skills working as a clerk then. I have to get to hear a little bit more about that. Okay. Oh, this isn't the Snack Falcon. So how did that arm get here? Someone just running down the street. Whoops, my arm fell off. I'll just come back for that later. No one could survive their arm just falling off. Or being chopped off. Like, not by a doctor. Is it still called assault if you chop an arm off? Seems like it should be a different word. Arm chopping. The inner workings of her mind are so fascinating. You are under arrest for arm choppy. Gosh, she's so brilliant. Whoever's arm that was is probably dead. Nah, definitely. Unless I see someone walking around who, until recently, had an arm. Once again, I cannot argue with her logic. Greg, my man. Hey, hey, hey. Hi. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Whoa, what's up with you? I want to do something. Okay, wow. You drink like all the coffee? Should you have a near-death experience or something? Yeah, let's go with that. This job is one long near-death experience. So dude. You want to do something? Ugh, can't today, dude. Yeah, sorry, Greg. Oh man, it's cool. No, it's not cool, Greg. While you waste away here, I'm having very touching character development moments with B. Well, he languishes in the snack falcon. Oh, I feel for the dude. Ah, but he's got Angus! And Angus is like the coolest person in town, so he'll be alright. I actually thought, is there something to the left of the diner that we can see as well? I don't think I explored that way just yet. Oh, looks like I can go this way. Okay. Heart of hometown since 1972. The food donkey. Closed. Seems like things are a little more dilapidated this way. Hey, Germ. Hey. Wanna hang out? I don't know. Supposed to hang with Greg or B tonight. Geez, I'm not asking you to run away and get married. Yeah, let's hang out with Germ. Okay, what do you want to do? Follow me. All right. Keep an open mind. We're here. We're in the parking lot. Yup. We walked for like 15 seconds. It's like really big here. You could throw a rock and hit where we were just standing. You can see like all of the sky here. Oh, wow. You can. Okay, so seriously, we're just looking at the parking lot? Sometimes. Sometimes in the morning, if you're up on the hill back there, a whole bunch of fog passes over the lots, and it's like an ocean. And there's a herd of deer that comes through, and it's like magic. Wow. Why did we ever need this much parking? Railroads, jobs, stores. Stores, I guess. There was the food donkey, and the old secondhand store, and the shoe store. There used to be a record store back here somewhere. All gone now, though. Yep, just a lot of asphalt, weeds, and broken glass. It's so pretty. I love it. Wow. Germ getting us feeling really nostalgic and philosophical in the parking lot. You know, if they never do anything with this, in a bunch of years, this is going to be like regular ground. What's going to happen to the parking lot? I mean, the parking lot, part of the parking lot. Nature's old. It waits you out. That's spooky. Okay, we're done. What? Let's go. But, hey. So I have to go now. Bye. What an enigma. Wow, she actually really captured that moment well, though. I think she really understood what he was going for. I think there is a certain somberness to looking out at a place that used to be more developed and is kind of starting to get reclaimed by nature or just it was abandoned. It can have a very different effect on you depending on your state of mind. It might make you feel like your own aspirations won't last very long, even if you achieve them, or if they're achieved for a certain amount of time, because everything goes away. Or it could make you feel like there's always another opportunity for you, because whatever was here before can always be overwritten. Geez, a lot of existential conversations today for a little Borowski. Let's See, can't go much further than that, though. Okay, I think the only other area to check out was the church. And then, go see what B is up to. The heart of hometown since 1972, and it's closed. It's a pretty clear message. When do we get to meet Dr. Hank? I wanna size this fellow up. Okay, let's check out the church. First, we'll see if there's any updates for old Bruce, our new friend. Doesn't look like he's out. Oh, there he is. Bruce! Seen a fire through the trees last night. Past these woods here. Weird noises. I just kept to myself, and they went away. That sounds spooky. Yeah, that sounds spooky. Been around a lot of places. Ain't spooked by much. But out past that water tower. Yeah, that's a place where teens hang out. Let's hope that's all it was. In my experience, strange fire and strange voices ain't never been good. I wonder if they'll be back. Hope not. Well, we haven't picked up that suggestion of something being haunted since the very opening lines. Kind of curious to see if that has any development. Okay, let's go see if Mama Cat is in. I hope she's not stressed. Maybe we can cheer her up. Mama Cat. Hey, Mom. Can't talk today, lots to do. Really? What could possibly be going on? Well, sweetie, we have the town council here today. And after that, a 12-step program meeting in the basement. Oh, wow. And I'm doing both church budget and our budget at the same time. I'll leave you alone then. Thanks, hon. I really need to concentrate. Oh, Mama Cat. I think Mama Cat would benefit from a similar kind of dialogue when dealing with this kind of overwhelm. The same way that we compare ourselves in terms of extremes, when we're dealing with a lot, budgeting, work, stress, family stress, this emotional compression that she's kind of dealing with, it's easy to get into that mindset of like, how do I fix all of the problems all at once? How do I like stop being stressed? How do I get more productive so that I can like lower my stress, and accomplish this? And I wouldn't want to start there with her. I'd start with what can make the situation a little bit more manageable. Again, even if it's only 5% to start with, that can have a very compounding effect. Part of the process of therapy is teaching people like regulation strategies and that sort of thing. But a lot of the common coping mechanisms and strategies are, they can be kind of complicated and multi-staged. Like, you may need to be in a certain kind of environment or have a certain kind of resource to do them. But you would surprise yourself, and I definitely have been surprised both for me and for clients, to see just how much the most minor change in physiological state and emotional state can be for allowing you to have some more of that energy to focus and concentrate on things. One of the things that I do very often, especially when I'm in a therapy session, is like if I have my hands sort of clasped like this, I will make a small kind of rotating motion on my palm, just like this. Just kind of running over the lines in my hand like that. Not very hard, not a lot of pressure. And I didn't even know that I was doing it at first. It was something that I noticed when I was having like a really intense session with someone, that like it was keeping me in a state of regulation, because like I'm trying to model for the client that like it's okay to be talking about this and they're in a safe environment and that sort of thing. But it was just barely keeping me there, you know, because the conversation was quite emotional. And so I started doing it, and now I realized that I do it quite often, and it's become more intentional. And it's not changing my life. It's probably giving me like 1% to 2% more sense of ease in any given situation. But that can make a huge difference. It really can. And it's such a simple explanation for why, you know. It's a repetitive, rhythmic, slight amount of pressure motion that's very similar to the feeling of rocking. Now, as Mama Cat would know, and little May, who's become a mama cat herself to the baby rats, may soon discover, rocking things calms them down. Like, it's kind of a baseline component to our biology and psychology that's effective for soothing. And it's kind of curious when you think about it, that like, it's not that you turn 5 or 7 years of age and rocking stops working as a method of stabilizing. You just have gotten too big that someone's not really picking you up and doing it. But while we don't continue to self-soothe, a lot of times we don't replace that with some other method of self-soothing. Like, it's definitely less common for an adult to just sort of rock themselves as a way of self-soothing, but it absolutely works. And it doesn't have to be rocking, but something rhythmic and repetitive, something sensory, maybe a little bit of pressure, you know, it could be something like this. Doesn't matter what it is, but I'm kind of discouraged, I guess, to find that many adults don't have a method of self-soothing. We might associate it with something that you sort of grow out of, or that it's like embarrassing or infantilizing to do. But yeah, there's nothing psychologically or biologically that happens that like, oh, you're 7 years old now, you're too big to be carried and rocked, so this stops being effective. No. You probably do have something that you do, whether it's like holding a pillow or a plushie or kind of running your hand over something tactile. Like, these are self-soothing exercises, and they're minor, but 1 or 2 degrees of calm in a moment where you feel overloaded, like Mama Cat does here, can make a huge difference. If we're not doing something like that, we're more likely to try to take extreme measures and just push ourselves harder than we can or need to, or we're likely to develop more avoidance strategies, which is delaying the things that we need to do, procrastinating on the budget. I know that she's sort of, this is her default kind of idle animation, so she might actually be working on the budget here, but like, it looks like she's just reading her fiction book that she's reading at the countertop. So she may be avoiding it, right? Because it's so overwhelming, and she's doing something that requires a concentration just on something else, which is probably giving her a migraine at that point. So all that is to say, I recommend you either pay attention to or develop some method of self-soothing. And the more combinations you make with that, the better. You know, sometimes I do that rotation in my palm and add a kind of breathing exercise to that. Small degrees of manageability in a stressful situation can make a huge difference. Okay. I think we were able to go into the building here. Yes. Let's see what we got. Peace and love. Oh, it's these fucking... It's okay, Brady. Give them a chance. He's very nice. Yeah, and he can be like the first. A trial run. Where would you put him? Oh, in the basement. In the old library? Are they talking about Bruce? With all the books? He's not going to eat them. Interesting proposal, Kate. Yes, thank you for bringing this to us. I look forward to us moving forward together on this. It will be brought up at the town council meeting. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, troops, move out. That congregation of council members. No wonder Mom is so withered after interacting with them. How's things? Okay, weird dreams. Want to talk about it? Not really. I dreamed that I was trapped in a wall. Jeez. No, it was fine. I knew the rescue crew was coming in a few hours, and it was cozy, so I could take a nap, guilt-free. You feel guilty about naps? Wish I didn't. How's that whole thing with Bruce going? I'm hopeful and positive. That sounds like what someone says when they're not. It's fine, May. It's going fine. Hey, listen. You know, if you ever want to talk or have any questions about, like, God, sure. You can always talk to me. It's kind of my job, and it's kind of in my job. It's kind of in my job description. Okay. Yeah, the council members, boy, do they have a lot of opinions. And I'm sure they feel very relevant when they get to say those opinions and make decisions based on those opinions. I'm not sure exactly who else benefits from what they're deciding, though. Okay, I think it's time to go and see B. Hey, dude. Hello. How's working here going? I don't know. It pays. I, refuse to unload all that rock salt by myself. It's not even Halloween yet. Man, we're getting assaulted with all this money stuff. Everyone. Hey, May. How's the pickaxe? Trying to kill me. Unsuccessfully. Thus far, at least. What's so stressful? Well, on top of everything else, we're hosting that stupid Harfest play tomorrow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm never offering to do this again. What are you up to tonight? Nothing. I'm super tired because everything about my life is exhausting. And I'm doing the work of 3 employees, plus a store owner. Even though I'm 1 employee and I do not own the store. Shit, I hope you're getting paid for 3 employees worth. Oh, weird. I thought for some reason you own this place now. You'd think, but also no. I'd rather die. Literally make me a coffin, using materials and tools from this store, and bury me anywhere else. Jeez, that got intense. Anyway, I'm doing nothing tonight. I can do nothing too. Fine. So, are we doing this? Yes. Let's hang out. Hi, B. Whoa, Germ jump scare. Hi, May. Hi, Germ. Hey, dude. Germ is helping me move stuff for under-the-table cash. Well, I'm knocking off work early to pick up some groceries. Wanna come? Sure. Ooh, finally, we get to see where people collect their groceries. It's not at the food donkey. Ready to go? You got a lot of hammers. Holy shit, there's so many kinds of nails. All right, then. He's like something out of a children's book about whatever the hell he is. Dinner at B's. No, we get to go to her house. This place killed the food donkey. Yeah, kinda. Food. You know, no one who works here had anything to do with that. Donkey! You sure showed Ham Panther Corporate who's boss. Actually, did you know our senator is on the Ham Panther board or something? You know you're zero fun, right? I do know that, yes. Okay, I need to grab a few things quick. Oh, I thought we were gonna hang out. We are hanging out. I'm just here to grab something for dinner, for Dad and me. Don't feel like doing the big shop tonight. Let me pick out what we have. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you coming to dinner? Can I? I guess. Are you asking? I wasn't. But now it feels weird not to. I'll pick out what we eat then. Wait, you're serious? Yeah. You know what? Go for it. I hate shopping. Need like a main course and 2 sides. I'm gonna go with this. I bet it feels true to her character to not really know what counts as a main course. I'm not even sure I know. We can stop back in the meat section once you pick out whatever else. What about dessert? We're not children. Appetizer? We're on a budget, eh? Okay. You hang out, and I'll be right back. Just make it quick and not too horrible. Also, Dad's sensitive to broccoli. Oh, also, no shoplifting this time. I can afford a few groceries, May. Also, this place has cameras. Good point. I wonder who works in this store. What kind of clerk we got? What's the clerk situation? We need a canned good or something. Oh, I should not be left unsupervised here. Hash, green stuff, purple thing. I'm gonna go with succotash. Succota. Yes, delish. Okay, what else we got? Mac and cheese, tasty taters, mashies, smooth, nice rice. The taters, of course. Boy, delicious. Cool sides. Quick quisquets, cream greens. Oh, Dad's allergic to green stuff. Let's go with the quick biscuits. Yes. Ooh la la. I am literally her. Should I get bakey shaky? That goes well. Yeah, why not? Bakey shaky, sure. Oh my god, I'm about to embarrass myself with what I picked. My dad works at the deli. We could go there for the meats. Okay. Let's do it. Papa Cat. Ahoy there, ladies. Hey, Dad. Hey, B. Long time no see. How are you, Mr. Borowski? Can't complain. Just me and the meats. Meat friends. Helps to stay friendly with your prime cuts and best fishes. True. Still weird seeing you here. Beats the alternatives. I think I saw my old music teacher when we came in. Oh yeah, that was Mr. Armstead. Looks like it's his job to say hello to people. Yep, called a greeter. I knew I recognized him from somewhere. Alternatives. Not working. Does it really beat the alternative, Papa Cat? Does it really? Does working really beat not working? I guess it does if you're trying to make money. I guess it does if that's your primary condition. So what are you lovely ladies doing here? Just grabbing something for dinner. How's your dad? He's all right. What can I get for you ladies? One of your best fishes, please. Pork chops, ground beef, chicken. Okay, let's think about this for a second. What goes well with taters? I'm about to tell on myself real bad. I'll make no illusions that I have some sort of refined palate. In fact, if you've been watching this channel for long enough, you know that I kind of have like some complexes around food. Which is to say that I wish food and the process of eating in general were optional. Like, it's not that I dislike food. I just don't care that much for it. I wish that I could choose to go out and enjoy a nice meal for a nice occasion or whatever. But the fact that I have to do it every day, multiple times a day, one, it's so fucking expensive. Why is everything $5 now? Literally, I was at the grocery store today and I was like, I can't find a single fucking thing that is less than $5. Nothing, you know, I'm just gonna say it. Nothing that I can hold in one hand should cost more than $5, okay? A little jar of pesto, it's insane that that's $5. Bag of snacks, $5, fucking criminal. A little tub of hummus, $6 fucking for that. This is crazy. I'm only asking why in a rhetorical sense, because the reason for why is obvious to anyone paying attention. I mean, all you have to do is ask yourself who fucking benefits from the price of goods being so goddamn high that it basically prices out most people from consuming anything relatively healthy, or God forbid something considered a fucking luxury item. Like, if I went to the deli right now, I could not justify for myself buying a fish. Like, as she's saying this, I'm like, gosh, May, those all sound very expensive. Like, maybe chicken is the only thing I would justify for myself. Ground beef, potentially as well. I don't really have enough personal interest in, like, pork chops and fish. Like, the level of expense and work required to prepare and consume them, I just have a hard time justifying it. So that's what I have to say about the matter. Nothing that I can hold in one hand should ever cost $5, and nothing, no food item should ever cost more than $20. And maybe I just don't understand the macroeconomics of things to make claims like that. However, all I can say is that the fucking corporations and the people who are in charge of what those corporations are allowed to do can make plenty of record-breaking profits without things being in the current state that they are. Otherwise, I'm switching to the fucking rice and beans diet. I'm gonna go with fucking chicken because it seems the most reasonable. Can't go wrong there. Do I want to pull the trigger on these meats? Yes. B, you should come by for dinner sometime. At the Ham Panther? Oh, May. I'll grill us up something nice. We can chop up just about anything back here. That'd be nice, thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's get our meats. Coming right up. All right, dinner decided. I'm not even looking at what you got. That's probably for the best. That is how straight up tired I am. It's gonna be great. We got tash, taters, chicken, and biscuits. All right, let's keep moving. All right, ladies, let's see what all you got. Yes, okay. Looks completely 100% okay. All right. Thanks, Mr. Browski. Tell your dad I said hello. See you later, Dad. Night, ladies. This is going to be so tasty. Oh, God. Not the car. That was fun. Yep. Groceries. Really makes you appreciate life. Your sarcasm is invalid. Shopping is fun. I love those moments where it really lets the dialogue hang in silence. It's brilliant. Dinner time. This is okay. Thanks. Yeah, it's all right. Thanks. Yeah, it'll do. Thanks. You did fine, May. Thanks. This conversation. Can't go wrong with meat and carbs. Thank you, May. I'm really good at food. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I got a really good grade in home ec back in high school. I made this shirt. Hey, can you fix my pants? Any money in it? Dad, we can get you some new pants. So yeah, we're all paid up until the 15th of next month. All right. That rock salt sorted? Yeah, should be fine. Is Rob still driving that big truck? As far as I know. Okay, I need you to sign some things. Left them on the bar. I think I might just get to them. Please do. We have to pay the guys in a few days. I don't need you to remind me. Is her dad, like, the owner of the store? I know, but I don't, Beatrice. Whose name's on the deed? Yours, Dad. Whose name's on the checks? Yours. It's very awkward. It's us just over there on the little stool. Smelter's playing tonight. We're gonna go hang out in my room. Yeah. You girls have a nice time. Thanks for dinner, May. Yep. Okay, so seems a bit tenuous, the dynamic there between V and Dad. Smelters, huh? You a fan? Oh, they're a hockey team. I mean, I bet May would like hockey. Just for the pure violence. Or no, hockey, it must not be hockey. She's saying, I don't really care for the Smelters because I like, I don't know. Hockey? What's not to like about hockey? A bunch of men prancing around on ice skates and beating the living. I knew it. I knew she would be into hockey for that reason. Ugh. Can't get excited about a puck. But it's like expected that someone is going to be bleeding by the end. No sportsmanship in it. How is what I described not sportsmanship? He seems a bit insulated to his own perspective. Did you guys just move in 10 months ago? Why aren't you unpacked? The way she just not responds. Pretty cool. Pretty cool record player. Your old room was like... kind of curious about the old room. Bigger. Messy. Really messy. Ugh, I was a slob when I was a kid. Guess the boxes really take care of that problem. No. Mom yelled it out of me. Moms, am I right? You are right. The way that she's just splayed on her back, staring at the ceiling. Girl needs something uplifting in her life. And May is sort of filling that position right now, but I really do think the perspective we talked about last time on tapping into some potential would do her some good. Because let's just saying it for her. She's clearly not satisfied with everything that there is available to her. She's got so much more to offer. So I've got a question. What exactly does your dad do at the store? Your dad's kind of up and down, huh? Kind of more interested in this. He has good days and bad days. Often in the same day. Greg's always been like that too. Just more zany about it. Well, Greg is probably bipolar. Gee, thanks, Dr. B. Well, you wouldn't be having fluctuations by the day with bipolar. A state of mania would have to be sustained for 7 days to meet the criteria. Or if not for 7 days, resulting in hospitalization. And actually for bipolar 1, it's not required at all that there is also a depressive state. So someone could have occasional states of mania that are highly disruptive and never actually have any depressive episodes. Oddly, bipolar 2 doesn't have the same kind of mania. It's hypomania. It's smaller hyperregulation imbalance. But it does require depressive states to be present for it to qualify for that. So like it's kind of complicated and could be what's going on with Greg, but his sort of zaniness is not bipolar. Like a true manic state, someone is not able to function like going to work every day and doing that. Like he's just hyperactive. The state of mania is extremely disruptive to someone's life. And like I said, often ends in hospitalization. Whereas my dad is having a years-long breakdown. You're in the whole store now, right? More or less. Yeah, but it's still his name on everything. Yep. And meanwhile, you're running basically everything. Yep. And working there every day too. Yep. I just think you shouldn't. Let's cut right to the chase, May. Okay. I just think you're, like, selling yourself out. Probably just quit. Well, don't suggest she'll quit. That's more likely to piss her off. Because it's probably an option for her, May. She doesn't have a safety net like you do at the moment. Although your safety net might not be that robust. Selling yourself out. Maybe selling yourself short, but this is the best we got. I'm sorry. What? Like, you not doing anything about it just reinforces... I mean, both options were pretty terrible. Is this really the road you want to go down with us? I'm saying you should stand up for yourself or just, like, quit. Both of these are terrible. It's not right that you just roll over and take it. This is making it sound like she's not doing enough to advocate for herself, which I don't see, but yeah. It's also kind of a narrow view on the situation. She doesn't really have the opportunity to quit. Quit? Really? Just quit? You are seriously detached from reality. You're doing all the work and he's getting all the credit. Go to hell. What? Yeah, I'm not surprised she's confused by this. Why? What is your problem? Here's some reality for you. You know Creek? Repair guy Creek at the shop? Yeah? Yeah, you met him when we were kids. When I was 15, he asked my dad if he could teach me how to drive. And my dad said no. And then he told me not to be alone with him. I don't follow. He's a creep, May. And you know what? He still works for us. Why haven't you fired him? I can't fire people. And even if I could, he's on the crew. And frankly, he's our best guy. Practically heads up the repair team. Since my dad's barely doing anything. And Creek's got a family. And he needs the work. I'm gonna be sick. I do appreciate her, like, sense of justice and righteousness. I do think that it's something that B needs, at least to, I don't know, play with as an option. Obviously, May is quite divorced from reality, but I don't know. I hope B can see that she's on her team. She's just kind of naive. That's disgusting. It's not your responsibility to... I know. Don't you think I know that? I'm just saying if you keep letting these dudes off the hook... Off the hook? This is why she's failing. She's implying that she's doing nothing about it, which is not the case. She's coping very strongly with it, which just means like she's dissociating a lot at work. And what I mean by coping well is that they are being effective at helping her not live on the surface with the problem. They're not reducing the severity of the problem, but it's sort of her only method of adapting at the moment. Like, you're stronger than this, B. You're like badass and shit. You badass? My mom dying was not very badass. Me sitting in this room right now is not very badass. Okay, sorry, you're such a shithead, you know that? No. You're fumbling, May. But also, May is not the target here, B. What the hell? Ugh, what the hell? A lot of the time, folks can't just choose to do whatever it is you decree to be the right thing. A lot of times people do the things they do because they can't do anything else. You always have a choice. You always have a choice. You can always choose. I'm glad that they gave us these two options. Says the child woman with no job, no rent, no responsibilities, and no consequences for your stupid actions. I'm seriously going to punch your goddamn lights out. You come in here and you start telling me how I'm screwing things up? You want to come in here and say, oh yeah, just ditch your dad, who is both getting old and can barely get off the couch half the time. You want to come in here and say, oh yeah, just start this big drama and make your life way more stressful. It's just not right. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, what are you saying then? I don't know anymore. Like, Greg is probably off doing God knows what wacky shit right now. I'm here making dinner and doing payroll. You know, like, nothing about my life. You just know what I should do. And you're the last person I'd ask for advice. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're sorry. Everyone's sorry. But you don't get it. I thought we were having fun. We went to the mall. We got stuck in a basement. Yeah, and that was all you did those days. I'd worked a good 6 hours before you even woke up, probably. and came home each night after you and I were done to pay bills and figure out how we're going to make our next payroll, while Dad slept on the couch. This isn't fun. I should go. You should go. Oh. I hate this. I hate this for both of them for different reasons. Chicken dinner, like Mom. Okay, what are you gonna do, May? Ham Panther dinner. Dad was there. B is breathing fire again. How did I mess that up? I wanted to help. I am garbage. Football. The Smelters must be a football team. I do think that B was having fun. I think that she's being a little disingenuous to say that May hasn't had a positive impact on her. Like, she's doing a pretty unhealthy kind of comparison between herself and May as well, comparing hardship, and basically reasoning that May doesn't have the authority to motivate her because she doesn't understand her hardship. I think May's delivery was, like, pretty slipshod. Yeah. But her heart was in the right place. I think she was trying to communicate to be similar to what I've been saying about her potential. Like, she clearly has more value as a person than her lifestyle is allowing her to tap into or demonstrate. What's not helpful is to tell someone that they are sort of, like, just not making the choice to do it. I don't think that's the situation. B is a very reasonable bind that she's in for why she can't necessarily tap into that potential. So this is a classic communication breakdown where these two people don't need to fight with each other. They're not even at odds in their positions. But emotions are running pretty hot anyways. Ugh. What's up? Long day. Yeah, same here. How's socializing? Surprisingly tiring sometimes. Yeah, that's why I don't do much of it. Pleasant surprise seeing you at work tonight. Yeah, I can't believe I hadn't visited yet. Well, you haven't been back long, and you're not usually lurking at the Ham Panther. Who's to say I'm not? Well, it was nice seeing you anyway. Lurk. Any idea what was up with Mom today? Oh, she's just stressed. That's vague. Well, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but you spend a lot of adulthood being vaguely stressed. Oh, dang. I thought the stress would at least get more specific. That's such a good line. Oh no, you'll have that too. Cheer up, kiddo. It's only life. Gee, thanks, Pop. So how about those crawl space boxes? Yeah, okay, I'll move them. TV time? Yeah, for a little bit. Oh, my favorite show. And we're back! Great crowd in here tonight. We'd never leave for too long, folks. Say, Garbo. Yeah, Malloy? Crowds like this remind me of our early days. I disagree. None of them are angry and drunk. Most of them, anyway. No, I mean those old nights. Those good nights. Just the heat of the stage lights and the thrill of winging it. And the gentle thump of an empty beer bottle thrown at your head. These days, things are pretty cushy. You think we're getting soft? You sure are. Around the midsection. That's a wappa. Oh, God. Okay, these guys suck. Malloy, it's company policy to never body shame. Oh, I never worry about that, Garbo. Why is that, Malloy? I'm what you call body shameless. They usually have at least one good one. Coming up next, Garbo and I go to counseling. I can't fix what's wrong with them. Man, Dad dropping a truth bomb right there. Adulthood just being about vaguely being stressed. Well, it's stuff like that that I really think having some ability to self-soothe is important, because stress management is about more than just problem solving the stressor. Like, do everything you can to remove those obstacles, yes. But stress happens internally, psychologically, physically, emotionally. Even if you solve a problem in your life, the after effects on you can be quite severe. And you're unlikely to get rid of all the stress or stressors in your life. But what exactly do you lose by putting some focus on just managing a little bit of the stress of the present moment? You don't really lose anything. But what you gain from that can be the difference in how you address some of those problems. It's a shame that just a lot of people don't spend the time to do it, or they think it's actually not going to make much of a difference, but it really can. Hey B, you there? Yep. I don't really know how I screwed that up, but I'm sorry. It's fine. Going to sleep. See you later. Okay. We're gonna be fine. Hey kid. Hey yo. What you up to? Nothing. Kind of bummed tonight. Oh, why? No reason. Just happens. Must be going around. I just got into a fight with B. Oh no, about what? I don't even know. I think I'm just an asshole. You and me both. The asshole twins. We can get matching jackets with that on the back. Varsity jackets with giant asshole patches on the sleeves. Alright, dude. I'm cashing out for the day. See ya, duder. Everybody's having kind of a rough night tonight. Guess it's time for the dreamland. Right to bed. Oh. It's windy. Things are a little more chaotic. One thing is right in the world, though, which is those baby rats were fed today. Gotta hold on to something. It seems like the town is on like a train or something. Oh, it is a train. Stupid man. Yeah, that's all of them. What kind of creature do we get? Oh, of course. Scary crocodile. It's gonna be okay though, May. It's not the first time you fucked things up with B. She forgave you. Let's see if we heard from her. Away message. Annual harvest play tonight at the old pickaxe. Come out and see the haunted history of Possum Spring. Oh, we got something from Greg. Happy Halloween, dude. Get spooked or something. Sick. Let's see if Dad actually moved that stuff. Oh, he did. Crawl space is open. It's back here. No, it's safe. How am I gonna open this thing? Dynamite? No. Gotta be a way to open this safe. Okay. I suppose we'll have to come back to that. Another mystery to solve. Whatever happened to the dude's arm that we found? I thought that was going to be like a kind of a big plot point. Maybe it still will be. Oh. Mama Cat's eyes are well rested. Hey, Mom. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. You're lying. So, honey, do you feel like talking about school yet? Okay. So what's the story? Oh, Mom's being quite direct. I just felt like it wasn't where I should be. Where you should be? What does that even mean? Never mind. Let's talk about this later. Any idea when you might want to do that? Or it's actually getting quite passive-aggressive. Because, honey, I'm all ears. I really am dying to find out why you decided to up and abandon all the plans we'd made it as a family. Jeez, Mom. Where is this coming from? You know you're the first Borowski to go to college? Yeah, Mom, I know. Only heard that since I was like 6. Well, honey, we've been planning for it since you were born. Spent a good 18 years and got into all kinds of trouble just for you to decide you'd rather be here. Might as well have taken all that effort and money and worry and dumped it in a hole. Holy shit. Are you like having one of your mood swings again? Ugh, like I'm the moody one in this house. You are the moody one in this house. Well, enjoy this house while we still have it. What? What's happening to the house? Maybe it just isn't where we should be. This is going very poorly. Oh, man. I just can't do it. Mom, this isn't funny. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about anything. Why start now? Go off and do whatever it is you do. You know what? Maybe if I'd had more examples of, you know, getting out and making something of myself. No. No. You do not get to... Maybe you wanted me to get out of here because you never got around to doing it yourself. Maybe I'm just the most recent failure in the line of failures that is our family. I'm leaving now. I've played a lot of games on this channel and seen some horrific stuff. Some really horrific stuff. But this is like a certain kind of painful because it's more of the common tragedy of like everyday life rather than the sort of acute style of trauma that these games normally portray. And I actually really respect the vision of this game for keeping it so concrete in that way. This kind of argument happens all the time in families and relationships. We saw it just happen with B. It's happening now with Mom. It's likely to happen with others as well. The goal in this conversation is to do the most amount of damage possible. This was not a conversation that started with people trying to collaborate with one another on a consensus of how each one should feel and what to do about it. That was never really a part of the plan going into it. Mom feels obviously cornered by the pressures that she has at work, the financial strain that she and the family are under. And she's been doing a lot to shield May from that. But without a justification for why school didn't work out, she's feeling betrayed and like her time was wasted. It wasn't. She's feeling like it was. May is obviously feeling quite worthless after her last conversation with B. It feels like she's being punished from multiple people for the kind of aimlessness that she has. Particularly because her way of coping with it is to try to be humorous and whimsical about things. Mostly because she's covering up the real pain that's likely inside of, like, she's aware. She's aware of the seriousness of what she's going through. Probably not fully, not from everyone else's perspective, but It's a serious thing to her. She knows she sort of failed at the goal of going to college. She kind of projects outwardly like, I'm just having fun and I'm such a goofball, but it's just a different style of coping. You put all that together and you have a situation where, yeah, people just want to maximize the damage that they're doing because their defenses were activated. It's easy on the outside to look at something like this and say, well, they shouldn't take it personally because everyone is under a lot of stress, and we say weird shit when we're under stress. I have said some horrific things to my parents who I've given a lot of praise, and, you know, I really cherish the relationship I have with them today. But there's definitely been conversations like this, as we've all had. I don't think any argument that looks like this accurately represents a person's values. I don't think May really sees her mom or the family as a line of failures. I think that's a fear that she has, that potentially this is a family who things historically haven't worked out according to plan. She's worried that she is going to disappoint mom and dad, and that's evident by how she called back to that line she's heard over and over again, you're the first one to go to college. She's clearly aware of the pressure she's under. Mom is afraid that she sacrificed so much of her life and comfort in the pursuit of something that I think she's mistakenly viewing May as not caring that much about, but a lot of this is in the blind spot for both of them, how the other person sees it. Same thing just happened with B. It's a total misfire. But it's easy when you're the person in the argument to think that that's like a strong declaration of what the person really thinks and feels, rather than a momentary lapse of judgment and composure. I know it can be exhausting to hear at times like the therapeutic mantra of like, you have to learn how to regulate yourself, but like, that is why we talk so much about this. A conversation like this only happens because of the elevated emotional state of the two people in it. They're not seeing each other for the fully realized people that they are, nor do they see themselves. It's very reasonable to say to someone, you know, I'm really emotional about this, and I don't feel like I can do the conversation justice right now, so I'd like to go and cool off before we come back to this. But do come back. Don't just leave it waiting unattended forever. Most reasonable people are going to be okay with something like that because it does signal to them that you care about the conversation and them, that you respect them, and that you'll return to it when you can give it the focus and clarity that the conversation deserves. I know that works because I've done couples counseling and also independent counseling for people in relationships, and learning those strategies to communicate in a way that's not competitive, where you can decide on a home base so that if the conversation ever trails off from that, you can return to it knowing that that's like kind of a safe touch point. Those things are really valuable from preventing an escalation like this. And then if it has escalated to that point, you do need strategies to regulate yourself, because the way that you think about things and talk about things just tends to be a lot more inflammatory when you are at your ceiling. I would hate to see the two of them go away from this harvesting the wrong ideas, which is, mom really doesn't care about me. And for mom feeling that May is selfish, I don't see her that way. It's not a coincidence that like after the fight with B, we checked in with her in the morning, and after sleeping on it, she was like, yeah, I'm still upset, but I'm around. We just don't think that clearly, nor do our feelings allow us to have the entire context of someone and our relationship with them in mind when we're in this kind of elevated state. But the strength of the relationship we've seen from both sides so far does make me feel confident that there'll be a moment where we can sort this out. It just won't be right now. Well, on that note, we're going to pause here for now. I always like to end these episodes by reminding you to be good to yourself, because this kind of interaction doesn't just happen between two people. It can happen between you and yourself as well. And I think it's just as fair to say to yourself, you know, I'm not in the best state of mind to start throwing critiques at myself for whatever it is I'm upset by. So I'm sure the two of them are both going to feel the pain of once they've realized what they've both thrown at each other here. So do try to be good to yourself. Give yourself the time to think and feel through things. Most things aren't really that urgent, and you do have the time to step away, collect your thoughts, come down from the peak of your anxiety before you act. And I have a sort of mantra for myself, which is don't make any big decisions on a bad day. I've never made one that ever worked out. So I hope you take those lessons to heart, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care, everyone.